starts to cultivate mindfulness and stability of awareness. And that's really important, stability of awareness, because until then, if you've had a monkey mind or you jump from one thing to another, it's not very stable when it comes to awareness. It's very erratic. We need to quieten down, regulate our nervous system. Hello and welcome back. Now, just before we get started, as always, if you're watching this on the Total Somatics YouTube channel, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and press the notification bell. So whenever an episode drops, you find out very quickly. Okay, so in today's episode, I'd like to share a subject with you that's fundamental to teaching total somatic education. And it's looking within the areas of clinical somatic movement, mindset, and mindfulness. Now, I encourage people to create a practice that's focused attention, and we're going to develop this a bit more. So to have this focused attention means that what I do within my teaching is use cues that are very much designed to get you focusing on that thing that we're dealing with at that point. Now, let me share why I talk about being focused attention here. And that's because the reason is that many people find it very easy to be distracted now. They have very distractive minds, or sometimes you hear the monkey mind. Have you heard that expression before? So there's lots of thoughts and ideas and all sorts of stuff, rumination, all sorts of things are going on within their headspace. And then there's other people that jump around with either talking about different subjects, or they just find it really hard to quieten down at times, and they can find it really hard to focus. And some people find it really difficult to notice the subtle feedback from their body, and also notice when I get them to do scans or movements. Initially, they can find that quite challenging. So that's why when I teach total somatic education within the areas of clinical somatic movement, mindset, and mindfulness, I'm really emphasizing that we develop this skill of focused attention, and I use that with my teaching skills and my cues. Because focused attention uses the attention capacity to sense, feel, and to witness our experience at that moment in time. And what it does is it places a spotlight on certain areas of your body, all the sensations, all the feelings, all the movement that's being created. And there will be times that with my cues, I encourage a person to do something in that area to either create further movement, to release tension, to do something that their brain has probably not really gone to that area and focused before, because it lives in a very predominant pattern of movement and behavior. So when I encourage them to focus on a different area while they're doing their practice, it's bringing that focused attention to a different region. And so what happens is focused attention starts to cultivate mindfulness and stability of awareness. And that's really important, stability of awareness, because until then, if you've had a monkey mind or you jump from one thing to another, it's not very stable when it comes to awareness. It's very erratic. We need to quieten down, regulate our nervous system. So it also allows you to stay with your experience, but then to deepen your awareness and your experience further. So the more you do this practice, you actually feel that I always say, you've got an onion and you're peeling away the layers of your onion. Each time you do your practice and you're doing your daily total somatic awareness practices, which just becomes second nature in the end, we're peeling away and discovering another part of the rich tapestry that makes up you, to allow us to learn that little bit more, how we can be focused in our awareness to taking good care of our somatic health and well-being. Now, when I'm cueing you, I'll often ask questions for you and ask you to stay fully focused in that experience or in that area. And the reason is, when I ask you a question, it stimulates a different part of your brain. And the area that it stimulates is the prefrontal cortex. And when we stimulate this area, it really helps to improve on focus, awareness, concentration, decision-making. You see, if you recall with children, what are they doing when they're babies? They're always asking, why this, why that? They're very curious and exploring their whole surroundings. And that's because they're starting to map out their prefrontal cortex. This is the learning part of the brain. So when we start to listen to my questions and my cues within the practices, we know that it's starting to improve the wiring in the front part of your brain. And you see, if we're stimulating your prefrontal cortex, what it's doing is it's increasing neural connections. It's making it healthier, juicier. As we've learned in previous episodes about competitive plasticity, it's really making that area thick and dense with more neurons or synaptic connections. And when we thicken our prefrontal cortex, it reduces the emotional responses that come from your limbic system, which is that stress center. Because if we're working on making and thinking again about competitive plasticity, we want the brain real estate at the front to really thrive and take dominance. It means that the limbic system or the stress center will shrink down. It will always be there. It's incredibly important. It's keeping us alive. But it's not healthy to live in that pattern of behavior, in that stress center all of the time. It's not healthy for us. We need to switch and live in the front part. So can you see why focused attention is brilliant? Because it's moving us into a different part of your brain, and it's regulating your emotional responses. It's changing everything right down to neural connections within your incredible brain. Now, when you learn to focus, you'll notice it's incredibly powerful, because what it does is it reduces down your stress. Also, those trauma activations and the emotional regulation side of things also starts to become regulated and balanced as well. Because remember, we're not living in the limbic system, that stress center. We're starting to change your neurophysiology. Absolutely incredible. And focused attention also creates this calm, focused inward awareness. It's training our mind to become steady and also just live at this point in the moment, not allowing our mind to wander or start ruminating or think of what we've got to do next week or later that day. It's allowing us to stay fully focused here and now, which is so important because we live in such a busy, chaotic, everybody is vying for our time. If it's not our mobile devices, it's the media, it's work, all sorts of things. So remember, we really want to take good care of ourselves, have that focused attention. So that really brings us back into how we're feeling at this moment. And the thing is, if you're in the Total Somatics membership, you know there are so many resources that whatever you're feeling like that day, when you have that opportunity, you can go into the membership and you can find that thing that's going to help to regulate your nervous system and again develop this focused attention. And I'm constantly creating new content that's serving the Total Somatics community. So that's why I'm very, very active within the membership, wanting to serve people where they are. Because I always say, if one person's struggling with that issue or has that question, there are many other people around the world that are having it at that point in time, or will have it in the future. So I will create content to support and serve you wherever you're at. And so that's where I'd like to just invite you that if you'd like to learn how to put this focused attention into practice, you are more than welcome to join the Total Somatics online membership. So if you go to totalsomatics.com, click on the Join Now page, and if you go there and the membership doors are closed, please leave your details there in the little box, and when I open the membership doors, you will be the very first to find out. I've mentioned many times in other episodes before, but the membership doors only open for a few days and then they close again. And that's because if you're wanting to come in, I know that you've probably been waiting for a while and there's more likely to be a consistency with your practice. However, you also know that this dialogue between you and me continues in the membership. So if you need support and guidance, you need direction where to go within the membership, that is all part of the membership deal. So that's why if I only open the doors for a few days, it allows me to stay fully focused on the Total Somatic members. And then you can come in whenever the doors open. But if you want to start today and the doors are closed, go to totalsomatics.com, click on the shop page, and you'll see there's lots of Total Somatic Education digital programs that you can get started with today to focus on that attention inward. And then when the time's ready for you, you can come and join the Total Somatics membership, where you will see there is so much more that you can benefit from. So I'd love for you to join the beautiful global community. So until next time, all my love and my very best wishes. Take care. Bye.
Thank you for joining me today. If you've enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating and also forward this on to somebody you know will benefit. To learn more about pain relief, plus how to improve your health and well-being, go to totalsomatics.com. Until next time, take care.